Minutes to go. I'm still waiting on the Facebook Live coming on. Well, thanks for joining me on YouTube. They say punctuality is a thief of time. We Oscar Wilde. Well, I'm even earlier than I'm meant to be. Thanks as always to the sponsors. There's Cornerstone Business Solutions, Galaxy Blinds, Richard Wills Training Associates, Advanced Utility Solutions, TGM Cars, Borough Museum, and Cleveland Systems Engineering. Well, once we go live on the Facebook, we'll discuss North East teams. Obviously, Newcastle United, after the glorious midweek performance against Southampton in the second leg of the semi-final and progressing into the final at Wembley, no doubt that set up a bit of strength. And West Ham, who are struggling, came up with St James's and grabbed a point. Good away point for Big Davy Moyes. It's not the end of the world for Newcastle. They're still up there, still sitting pretty in that Premier League. Dear me, what a turnaround. Middlesbrough, of course, played Blackpool. Blackpool are a poor outfit, but people suggested we're going to just go out and turn up and beat them. Well, it wasn't as easy as that, but once we got the first goal, which I won the goal from Akpom, we added another couple, kept a clean sheet, and the rest history. Sunderland, they went to Millwall, drew. A good draw. I think it's a good draw. Any point away from home is a good one. Millwall's pretty intimidating. They're all mental down there. All the old seamen and all that down there. They're all crackers. Hi, Bernie, Borough fan. So Borough fan, you're out early. Yeah, sorry, I've started early. Or somebody pressed the button. Glad it's not the atomic button or a button that caused any damage, because it was a woman that touched it, not me. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about North East football. Hartlepool got a win, so that was good. And Darlington, they won. I mean, Darlington's still sitting pretty up at top, aren't they? So I'll tell you what, we're going to just go live now to help it. So sorry for yous watching YouTube. We have to link in now and we'll go live. 3, 2, 1, we're on, yeah? So thanks for watching this YouTube and Facebook Live. It's a one-leg end. Facebook and YouTube live discussing North East football. Thanks to Cornerstone Business Solutions, Galaxy Blinds, Richard Wills Training Associates, Advanced Utility Solutions, TGM Cars, Borough Museum, and Cleveland Systems Engineering. And I'm just saying, because we clicked this button, evening Bernie, hi Conrad, clicked this one early. Newcastle United, after the heroics in midweek getting to Wembley for the first time in 47 years in the League Cup, came down to earth with a wee bit, not so much a thump, maybe a bang, against West Ham. West Ham are struggling. Big Moisey, some people suggesting that he should be off or should be off, and I don't agree with that one. Like, I think he's did a great job last year. They were brilliant. Anyway, they came to St James's against all the odds and picked up a point. Middlesbrough played one of the third bottom teams in the league, who's conceded second most goals conceded by any team in the Championship. Middlesbrough had a couple of chances, didn't take them, and then all of a sudden Ashpom scored a wonder goal, come in for the left, 18 yards out, curled it top left-hand corner. It was a fantastic finish. Then he added a very good second, and then Big Paddy McNair added a third, so that was 3-0 to Borough. Big Tony Mowbray went down to Millwall, grabbed a 1-1 draw, got a point. Hartlepool, they won at Doncaster, much needed win. Don't forget, they are struggling. They're in that bottom 3 and they need to get clear of that. And Darlington took 3 points against AFC Telford, so well done to Darlington. So Darlington are sitting pretty. Hartlepool's huffing and puffing. They're struggling down the bottom of the league. Sunderland, me personally, I don't think Sunderland's going to. The type of game we normally lose. That's Borough. Yeah, you're right, Borough fan. Yeah, lost my train of thought there. Anyway, Middlesbrough were expected to win. They did. Newcastle were expected to win and drew. Sunderland, are they going to make top 6? I personally don't think they will. The reason being, Stuart's out. The lad went back to Everton, the lone player. Ellis was it. Big Stuart's injured, out for the season. There's a couple of novices come in, young kids. So I hope Sunderland make it, seriously. I love the North East teams. I love the rivalry and I want us to do well. I want it to be nicknamed a hotbed again. And at the minute, the majorities are doing well. But Sunderland, as I say, will miss out in that top 6. I'd love to think something could do it, make Tony Mowbray, so everybody will pat him on the back and say you're doing a fantastic job. He's done well up until now, but in the window he's not been backed. So I'm looking at the goal scorers. So Akpom, flying high, 16 league goals, 17 in total, won the cup, 16 league goals. Newcastle, as Almiron, he's got 9, and then you've got Big Ross Stewart, who's out for the season. He's got 10, and you've got is it Josh Umery or something that plays for what is his name? Yeah, Josh Umery. I'm sure that's how you pronounce his name. He's got 12. I think he's got 13 goals for Hartlepool, and then you've got the lad for Darlington, Matt Beck. He's got about 15, I think it is. So goals there, but the king of the goals at the minute is Chuba Akpom of Middlesbrough. And don't get me wrong, people say to me, well, how's he turned it round? Evening Bernie, 2 great performances in a row, up the effing Borough. Yeah, fair enough. Gareth Oyston says, West Brom v Borough playoff final. I agree, Sunderland will fall short. Gareth, you could be right. As I say, I'm not saying it in a nasty way. Sunderland fans, come on, I know Sunderland fans. I'm pally with Sunderland fans. Do you agree or disagree? I'm not saying it to wind you up. I just think you've no recognised centre forward. Ellis has returned after scoring a few goals, went back to Everton. Big Stewart, as I mentioned, he's out for the season. I think it's Achilles problem. Did you see Akpom mention you on EFL highlights, Bernie? Craig Dales? No, I didn't, Craig. I heard people have told me. I've not seen it myself. I didn't see the EFL highlights. But thanks to Chuba for mentioning it. But let's be honest. Is Chuba going to the year I was last, for those North East show, I was the last Middlesbrough player to score 1989, 21 league goals. Chuba Akpom's got 16 league goals, 17 in total, but 16 league goals, and he's got 16 league games to beat it. The form he's in and the way we play, the brand of football that Carrick's brought in, I cannot see for the life of me how he couldn't achieve it. Obviously injuries, a loss of form, and a touch wood. I don't wish that anybody. Good luck to the lad. Chuba, first year, I thought, came in, scored a goal right away, I think he did, and then he was in and out of the team, and then it changed again the next season. He was the same, he got injured, didn't live up to the billing, 3 million quid. Arsenal, he was at Arsenal when he was younger, and he was getting rave reviews, but I didn't see it. I think he might come close, Billy. No, he's definitely going to do it. But anyway, he went away. He went to the Greek club, came back, and he's been fantastic. Why is it turned it round? More confidence, knows he's going to be a regular in the team, knows he's not going to get dropped when he's scoring, or if he scores 2, he's not going to get the hook, he's allowed to get a hat-trick. He's playing in a more attacking-minded lineup. Pulis, Karanka, Warnock, all played with a 5. I mean, if that's played right, it can still be classed as a positive, but I just think the 3 centre-backs needed thrown in the River Tees, and Carrick's only one to have done it. And it's come up trumps. He's in a rich vein of form, or the team is. Akpom's unbelievable. No, I'm going to praise Akpom. No, his confidence is the one. Confidence is a massive thing in life. Must have listened well in the kebab shop, Bernie. Butterfly's joking. Let's see where we are. I'll go back to all these. Sheffield United will blow that 10-point lead over Borough. What you think? So Sheffield United will beat Middlesbrough play Cardiff for you North East fans. Middlesbrough play Cardiff away. Cardiff sitting bottom of the bottom half and near the bottom, and Sheffield United second. There's a fair point gap there. So they drew on Saturday against Rotherham, and Rotherham, they're struggling, but Sheffield failed to break them down. So yeah, hey, you don't know. Borough fans, are you dreaming like me and thinking, could we go up automatically? I mean, it's not an impossibility, but you never know. Joey, evening Bernie, long trip for me, Saturday, 4 a.m. start up the Borough. So Borough fan Julie, who travels the country, is getting up at 4. Chuba put the reporter right, who said it was Ravanelli. Chuba said, no, it was Bernie. Stuart Roberts, well done. Shows you what these reporters think, innit? They don't even do the homework. I take it that was BBC, was it? Ravanelli got 31 goals in total in a season. Well, the season I scored 21 league goals, I scored 32. But I don't say 32 because Chuba's chasing the league goals. So it's the league goals that Chuba's going to achieve. And he is. And good luck to the lad. I really mean it. Different levels of confidence. Why won't we beat Sheffield United? Well, why not? Of course we can. I'll be the first to go and congratulate Chuba. I'd love to get him on one of my podcasts. I've spoken to a couple of people in the last couple of days to see if I could do it. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? I'm sure use the punters, I don't know, North East, but certainly Middlesbrough, me talking to Chuba about his achievement if he hits the 20. And I just think it's a matter of time before he does. Good evening again, Trevor. Hiya, Trevor. Gareth Thoyson says, I seen that AFL interview about Bernie. They mentioned Rav, but he sidestepped the Rav talk and mentioned Bernie instead. There you go. Well done, Chuba. Thanks for that. As I say, Chuba had me up off my seat on Saturday because the first goal was what I call a class goal, an unbelievably good goal. I'm not one to overdo it when it comes to praise. I'm sure the people that know me know that. Is Total BS out yet, Bernie? Yes, it's out every Monday. You get it in Spotify, Spreaker, Apple, Amazon. It's free, costs you nothing. I say it every week when I'm on here. So just go on your phone like you're doing this and you can listen. Tonight, it's a guy that's interviewing me, a guy that knows nothing about football. That sounds about right, that. And he's interviewing me. And he asked me sort of a non-footballing questions. Fairly posh, this guy. So have a listen and tell us what you think. A different time zone here. Well, where are you then? Oh, sorry. Well, where are you, Borough fan? Tell me where you are. Let's see. Mark says, now Bernie, I hope you're well. Can't wait to travel to Cardiff, mate. Going down on the Friday up the Borough, onwards and upwards. Come on, I want a Sunderland fan, a Newcastle fan. Just tell us, have you got the trophy cabinet in yet? Or is it premature? You're still a bit concerned about Man United meeting them in the final at Wembley. Never know. Let's keep unbeaten and secure playoff place. Go from there. Big game next week with Sheffield United. This is for Claire Boulder. It could be. Let me see. I'm just touching it. It's not happening. Sorry, Claire. It's not even moving that. Evening, Bernie. Gels whipping those balls in with pace. The team playing on the front foot with freedom and no fear. And they seem to be stopping. I'm really sorry because when I need to see more, it's not happening. But anyway, you're getting the gist of it. Come on, Port Vale. Ian Barnett, come on, Port Vale. We've got a Valiant on. A Valiant. North East Road Valiant's on. Valiants are welcome. If you're thinking who's the Valiants, Port Vale. That's the name. Like the Borough and the Jaw. Port Vale's the Valiants. Had a great time down there. Loved it. Really loved it. I just want to plug... Gary Parkinson do. If you're saying who's Gary Parkinson, Gary Parkinson, I'm sorry if you've heard it, but I think it's very important. One of my teammates had played for Middlesbrough between 85, 86 to 92, 93. Is in a bad way, needs 24-hour care. He's been at it since 2010. Needs a lot of funding for 24-hour care. And his family have been terrific, looking after him as best they can. But they need a nurse in the house throughout the night or whatever to look after him. He's got what you call locked-in syndrome, which means he's paralysed from the neck downwards. I'm not here to pray, I'm just telling you the blunt truth. All the tickets have gone. It's at the Town Hall, 24th of March, £50 for meet and greet. So that's a seat in the balcony or £30 just for a seat. All the proceeds, all the money on the night, every penny, nobody makes anything except Parky. It all goes to Parky's care. He's the greatest guy I've ever... Well, him, Ali Brownlee, Matt Proctor, they're the three greatest guys I've ever met since I came to Teesside. And Parky's certainly one of them. Good living lad. If you're religious in any way, no matter who your God is, please say a prayer for Parky. But anyway, that's the reason we're having it. And if you want a ticket for a seat, Town Hall, you go direct to the Town Hall. All the tables have gone. We've sold about 37 tables, 10 at a table. It holds about 840 in total. So still tickets left. Please, if you've got money and time and you want to buy a charity, and all charities are important, everyone's important, but this guy means a lot to me in the area because he came through the difficult times at Middlesbrough. So please, if you've got time you want to come along, please come along. Bernie, reckon this team is better than the Karanka team? You're asking me that. It's not even open to debate, Gareth, in my opinion. This team's a free-flowing footballing team who score goals. Karanka, admittedly, Bamford scored goals, but he kept getting messed about, centre forward, out right. This guy keeps in the rightful positions now, in the main. He won't move Akpom. Akpom's playing the 10 role, coming deep, going forward. He's playing brilliantly well and scoring the goals. So for me, this is a better team than Karanka, yeah. Hiya, Bernie, classic. Tuber put the ITV reporter right. Oh, it was ITV. It was ITV. Saying it wasn't Rav, it was Bernie, the living legend who holds the record on it. As I say, I never heard him saying it. I've yet to meet the lad. I don't get my way to say, oh, I want to see Tuber, but as I say, I'd love to have a chat with him when he hits the magic number. I'd love to meet him, picture, give him a bottle of champagne. Congratulations. And wish him all the very best, because records are there to be broke. Look at Harry Kane. Just beat Jimmy Greaves. Remarkable. I mean, but Tuber's would be some achievement, because this has been going on since 89. You know, I'm chuffed with what I've done, but embarrassed because I've watched every game since then when I stopped playing. And we've had some great strikers like Viduka and Hasselbank and Yakubu and Rickard. And then we've had some duffers like Donggook Lee, Michael Ricketts, dear goodness, Jason Yule. We have had some dross and paid fortune for them. Alves, been better with Elvis. So let me see. So that was my answer to you regarding the Karanka team. I'm just trying to get these. If I'm reading half it, it's because it's sort of a stuck. I can't see it, but when it says see more, I'm not getting more. But Bernie, reckon this team's better than Karanka's team. Yes, we're promoted, but we scraped daft 1-0 wins. No, so I get the gist of it, Gareth. No, this team's more exciting on the eye. Good to watch, entertaining, exciting, free-flowing, goals. Karanka's teams were never like that. Never like that. Don't forget, I've seen them all. I was doing the commentary. Trevor Travel says, if you were on the end of Gerald's Crossage, you'd get 40 odd a season. I'll tell you what, Trevor, I says on Saturday, with my suit on, somebody shouted in the box, you'd have scored today. I said, you're dead right. Even with this suit on, I'd have just stood at the back post and tapped him in. No, seriously, it's easier said than done. But I think I'd have got a few with Giles. I would be buying Giles a Christmas card and a birthday card and buying them boxes of chocolates for the service. Tuber might be doing the same, but I would certainly, I'd be giving him a kiss, a cuddle, and probably an extra few quid off my wages for all the service, because his service has been magnificent. He must be catching the attention of the other team, without a doubt. Buzzing with the way we have been playing. This is for Adrian Patterson. Bernie, why not go for a second place? Granted, it's a big ass, but anything's possible. Like to see you and end of Downing's cross. Stewie Downing was another great winger. Love Stewie as a person, as a player. And how he took all that flight over the Karanka walkout. Fans were getting him stick left, right and centre when it was nothing to do with him. And he couldn't even say publicly that it wasn't him. Everybody within the club knew why Karanka walked out, but Stewie carried the can and everybody believed it. I couldn't have, I'd have had to, yeah. Hello, Bernie, other 11 borough, sorry. Good luck on party thing. Is Gary Walsh attending? Mohammed. No, Mohammed, Gary Walsh wasn't in our team. Stephen Pears was the goalkeeper then. Hold on, what's this? Hiya, Bernie. You had a word with Eric Gates to get him on here. Would be great to hear him. His banter between you and him was class. For Jack Gamer. Jack, yeah, but it's hard to... Gatesy doesn't come out the house, let alone come up here and do this with me. And he's not got the technology or the brains to get into something like this. We could link in for his house to mine, but at the minute, oh, he's a stubborn so-and-so Gatesy. He really is. I love him. I do love him. Not in a sexual way, of course, but just love him. Love his hair. Love his banter. Love his patter. Love his opinion. He's straight-laced. Doesn't give a shit about anybody or anything. Well, he does. He respects people, but if anybody disrupts him, he'll certainly give them a double-barreled shotgun. Aitor did well, and so is Carrick. Mohammed, Aitor did do well, but on the eye, the football, I didn't enjoy the football. I would have hated to play for Karanka, or Pulis, I keep saying that, or Warnock. So still makes me feel emotional every time. Yeah, so I took I did do well, and then obviously we got to the playoff final at Wembley. I went down with a few of the former players, and before we got our bums in the seat, we were a goal down, and we lost the game, and then we eventually got promotion. That was a great day, the promotion season, following season. Claire says, if Jones can get the form from last season, be another great attacking threat. Love watching team at the moment. Competition. Claire, you're right. The Jones came off the bench Saturday, looked a wee bit of sorts. It looked as if he sort of lacking a bit of confidence, and that happens when you know the team playing extremely well. You've been left out in the wilderness or in the cold. He'll hear the talk that we hear that, oh, is he going to be on his way? So he might have thought he was getting away in the January window, but wasn't to be. But hey, I think he's still good to have the remaining 16 games, without a doubt. He could play a major part. Stuart Roberts says, all the current squad seem like level-headed lads, no egos whatsoever, all working for each other as a team. You're right, there's no egos. You're dead right. No egos. There's a connection with the fans and the players and everybody. Obviously, it's easy to be a tight-knit group when you're winning. It's when the wheels come off or a wheel comes off, then you get the confrontation and the people that's unhappy and venting their spleen. But at the minute, fantastic. Bernie, there should be a statue of you and Ali together outside the Riverside, Ian May. Well, thanks for the compliments, Ian. I think there should be one of Ali, because Ali's a one-off. Ali's the greatest commentator that Middlesbrough's ever had and Middlesbrough will ever have. In my opinion, he did a lot, had it in abundance. Loud, brash, charitable, thoughtful, grateful, professional, blinkered, generous. He had everything, Ali. So for me, Ali Brownlee, yeah, instead of words. But do you know statues cost a fortune? You do know that, don't you, Ian? Statues can cost up to 80, 90, 100 grand or more. The Camso one, I think, costs over 100 grand. No, Camso, Mannion and the ones that's down there now. Would you ever do a match commentary again, Bernie? You and Ali were top class. Head and shoulders above what's round now. Jack Gamer says that we need a statue of you the other day. Both would be nice. So first of all, the commentary. Hey, I loved the commentary with Ali. It was unique because Ali was the one in bed with the club, the one that had the blinkered glasses on. It could see no wrong. It would say no wrong. And that would just be me. And the combination, the dynamics and the chemistry worked and worked a treat. Everybody seemed to love, well, everybody did love it because the radio figures when you're in commercial radio, because commercial radio, you need to be the best because you need sponsors. And if you're not the best, you're out. Whereas BBC up and down the country, we're made to pay it. We're forced to pay it, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. That's the difference with commercial and the BBC. You can still be shite and just keep your job because we're paying it anyway. No, we've not got a say in it. But commercial radio, they rely on sponsors. I mean, Ali were the best at the time. And then Ali, obviously I stayed at the Legends. Ali got dressed and went to the BBC and that was it. The rest was history. Let's see. I know it's not Borough related, Bernie, but what's your take on the Man City situation? Stephen, when I heard there was 100 counts or something, misdemeanors, they must be concerned. Surely they must be worried. I mean, they've been under the microscope seemingly for 4 years. The investigation has been on something like 4 years. And if they're seen to have been doing wrong, they have to face the consequences. So what's the consequences? Points deduction, relegated. Happened to Rangers up in Glasgow. Rangers was it the fiddle and the tax, whatever? FA will bottle it, Bernie. Well, it's not about bottle. Everybody's trying to put everybody right. If there's a word out of sync, if these are corrupt Man City and they're found to be guilty, they have to suffer the consequences. As I say, Rangers done, if it was Celtic, I'm not saying because I'm a Celtic fan from Glasgow, living in England and played for Middlesbrough. I'm not saying it. If it's Celtic, I'd say the same thing. If you're doing things that's not right, you have to face the consequences. And Man City, these people with money, the billionaires, millionaires, the people with money, they think they're untouchable. They're above the law. They're bigger than anybody and they're bulletproof. They're not. And this is the biggest statement of all. if Man City get done. Bernie, do you think clubs need to give managers more time, as Jesse Marsh only lasted a year at Leeds? Do you know what, Keith? I was a wee bit disappointed when I heard that. I know Leeds said, I think I won about 9 or something. And I know it's not about him talking, but he looked energetic, vibrant, a motivator. His team tried the best. When I watched Leeds, I thought, hey, you play some good stuff here. Bamford's obviously been out with bad injuries. He's not recovered. But then he's just gone overnight, which is a shame. You know, hey, when I hear Americans, remember, what was the guy who came to me? Was it Swansea? Some American came, he lasted about 2 minutes. Can't remember his name. He had a right American name. Didn't even suit the footballing world, in my opinion. And anyway, was it Bob somebody? No, Bob the Knob. No, I'm trying to think. But it was Bob something. I'm sure it was Bob. Swansea manager, American, lasted 2 minutes. See you later. Well, this guy, I thought had a wee bit about him. Yeah, I don't think Leeds are as bad. The results are, but the performances, they might have came. He looked a real motivator, and the lads looked as if they liked him and respected him and gave it the lot for them, but just wasn't to be. Leslie Cole says, Chuba Chops, love his lollies. Oh, dear goodness. Tell you what, you're possessed with food. I tell you what, you must be about, what's the name again? Leslie, you must be about 20 clem, you. Why did Cranker walk out? Never understood it. Bernie, who was the last big to get the game of football you spoke to? Who was the last big name in the game of football you spoke to? Demotion should be a punishment. Yeah, you're right. Who was the last big name I spoke to in football? I've never really thought about it, but I speak to a lot of people in football. I'm going to Old Trafford soon, and I meet guys like Paddy Cairns, who I know very well. Paddy played with the team that won the European Cup, played with George Best, Dennis Law. I meet, and I look at him as one of the biggest names in the game. Played for the great Man United, Sir Matt Busby. You know what I mean? Won the European Cup. He played for Celtic, played for Scotland. He's a character. Even now, he's obviously getting on, but he's still a character. Brian Robson. He does the wherever I go, he's there as well. So there's loads. Dennis Irwin, obviously Roy Keane. There's loads of them. But hey, I'm a Borough fan. My biggest name this year when I bump into Chuba when he scores 20 goals, 20 league goals. Why did Cranker? Well, I wasn't avoiding the question, Mohammed. Look, somebody upset him in the dressing room. He just headed out, threw his dummy at the pram, headed off. And then we had to go and play, I think it was Charlton. And there was chaos that day, wasn't there? They were throwing balls on the pitch or something as protest because they were protesting, the Charlton fans. And everybody thought that Cranker would not come back and Steve Gibson would sack him, but Steve Gibson didn't. But he got him back in the door. And I knew there was rumblings within. I heard that, but that was a private thing. I'm big in the mouth. I only talk about what I think, know what other people are doing or saying. I can be private. And I was told there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And when that happened, I think it had to happen. The volcano had to erupt, then it settled down, and then the team progressed and got promotion. Without that disruption, without Cranker walking out and everybody having a ding-dong, cleared the air, I don't think we'd have made promotion that year. Stuart Downing is a Borough legend. Yes, Stewie Downing. Hey, Stewie Downing, what a player. Born and bred here. How anyone can slate in beggars belief. Trevor, I think when it comes to football and when you're a local lad, the guys you went to school with or somebody went to school with, they might look and think, look at him in his flash car. And, hold on. I have to get off to work for tomorrow. An honour to interact with you. Like I said the other day, an idol when you're growing up stays with you for it. Take care, Bernie Borough. Cheers, Borough Ian. Borough Ian, I think I was abroad. He's got to bed, he's early. Cranker was a baby who constantly spat his dummy out the pram. The bloke clearly isn't a good manager. Look at his record since leaving us. He's obviously petered out the game. But Ian, I heard he was a great coach. I'm talking about players that played on from. Great coach, bad man manager. Steve McClan, he went to Newcastle, didn't he? He had a short time there. Steve McClan, great coach, poor man manager. So you look at Steve McClan, he's in the the shadows now at Old Trafford, but he's the coach, and that's what the top players that's played under, guys that's won the Carling Cup told me. I'll not name them, but they told me. Steve McLaren, great coach, fantastic coach, poor man manager. Yeah, so we're just saying that people where Trevor Stewie driving down with his flash car, oh look at him in his flash car, he's a big time Charlie. Then they start hearing speculation, he does this, he does that. Stewie Downey's one of the nicest lads I've ever met in Middlesbrough. Seriously, down to earth, grounded, respectable. His father and mother is obviously, like most people, he adores him, especially father for his footballing ability to get him to where he went. You look at Stewie Downey, local lad, born in Middlesbrough, played several top teams, went to Villa, went to Liverpool, played for Middlesbrough, England international. What was Gordon Strachan like as a manager? Bloke. Gordon Strachan, well, he was ginger. If you're offended, switch off now because I don't give a shit. Yeah, he was. Look, Gordon Strachan, what a player he was. A wee bit older than me, but what a player. I watched him. I remember reading an article about Strachan saying he went to bed in the afternoon during the winter when he trained. I took heed of that and I did the same. He ate bananas, I didn't. He ate bananas, but I didn't eat bananas. I was eating chocolate bars back then, Iron Brew. But I did have a kip in the afternoon during the winter months and it seemed to do me well. But Strachan was a great player. Aberdeen as a player, brilliant. Went over here in Canada, 7 hours time difference. All right, Butterfine, get your bed. Canada, 7 hours. It's the beauty of the YouTube round the world. Yeah, anyway, right, here we go. Leslie Coates says, why is all the clowns still slating Mason Greenwood? The guy's innocent in law. Not everyone, but a few. It slipped there, sorry. Just jumped there, crackers this. Evening, Bernard, no, I've read it, innit? Sorry, I'll get there, don't worry. Hello, Bernie, I live in Burger. Look, party, yeah, we're nearly there. Just bear with me, I'm there. So yeah, we're coming up with it now. So Gareth Oyson says, I reckon Coulson signed a contract extension because no way will he keep Giles. We will keep Giles. Giles' value probs gone up now, above what we can afford. Oh, Gareth, I half agree with that, but if we get promotion, we'll have loads of money at our disposal. But he will cost a few quid. There's no doubt he's a shop window. He's attracted loads of attention. Not on the defensive side, he's flawed defensively, but most defenders in the modern game are. But what a player going forward. Delivers the ball, not blind. He lifts his head, he whips them in with accuracy, pace, and pinpoint crosses regular. And he's made more assists than anybody. Chuba scored the most goals, and Giles has created the most goals. So he's been fantastic. Trevor Chavel, Park Ender, his mum, we often camped out. Yeah, so Les, that was one you were talking about. Greenwood. Look, I'm not a lawyer. It was cleared. That's the end of it for me. Just get on with it. What's he going to do? Do you think Man United's going to just let a guy pay him up? A guy that was rated 2 years ago 100 million. Come on, money, greed, power corrupts. Money, greed, power corrupts. We've seen it in Qatar. And we'll see. Hey, it happens in football every day. What on earth are you thinking with that jumper and shirt combo? Who are you, Martin? Are you a fashion designer? I'd like to see some of your clobber. If I could click in and see what you're wearing and what you look like, I might give you a bit back. I know you've got a smiley face. I'm not biting. Don't give a damn, man. Bernie, thoughts on Harry Kane breaking Jimmy Greaves' scoring record? And I never looked like he was class, but worked hard. No players lack the work ethic these days. And Bernie, would you put Fry back in the starting lineup or stick with McNair? I stick with McNair. I'll be honest, stick with McNair. McNair's done brilliant the last 2 games. Deserves to stay there. If you take him out or knock his confidence, then he will really think, hold on a minute, what's going on? Carrick's come in and he don't say he's popular. I don't know if he says he's popular. I don't listen to interviews or read papers that. But you can imagine him saying, if you're doing the business and we're playing well, you're in. If you're out with injury, suspension, loss of form, and we're winning, and the lads are playing well, then we'll keep the same team. No, McNair will be in, without a doubt. Yes, that's my job. Bernie, great for the region, how well the Borough are doing after being around the training ground. There's a massive buzz. Training ground, massive buzz around the place. As you know, I'm a Chelsea fan, but great to watch the football and buzz around the place. Get back in the Premier League. Thank you very much, Mark. That's for a Chelsea fan. Loving the Armani, Bernie, looking smart. So there you go. Some people don't know about a class when they see it. You know what I mean, Darryl? They don't get it, man. They're still going doing doggy market. I mean, I did for the first few years I was in Middlesbrough. Doggy market used to be the place. It was like the Harrods of Middlesbrough. Trevor says, why don't we name the stands after the likes of Ali? Other clubs do it. Why don't we? North Stand, East and West. Like Sir Alex Ferguson stand, Brian Clough stand, Kenny Dalglish stand. All legends in their own right. Trevor, I remember there was a new housing estate near Middlesbrough. Yeah, you know where it is. They demolished Erson Park. They wanted to put players' names up. I think I was mentioned, Slaven Street. That would go well, wouldn't it? Slaven Street. Anyway, the council's knocked it back. Alan Peacock's got a street named after him, but that was as far as it went. James Kane. What do you think of Hayden Coulson signing a new contract with us, not getting his game to Aberdeen? So, what's the thinking? I don't know happening that. What's the thinking? I don't really know, but Coulson obviously came in the team, got a few rave reviews early doors, as everybody does when a young kid comes in. They all rave about him, and then he disappeared. Bernie, you always looked dapper, and you had a bus named after you once. Well, Keith, yeah, we'll come back to that bus, carry on. So, yeah, if I was Coulson, I would try to get out of Middlesbrough, because he's never going to get a game here. Seriously. And if Aberdeen's not playing him, he needs to get another loan somewhere. Regarding the bus, Keith, yeah, there was a bus still going about streets of Middlesbrough, Teesside. This is on the side, Bernie Slaven. Right? Inside gives you a few wee stats. But I'm just telling you in advance, if it knocks you down, I'm not responsible. Don't come to me looking for a bung and a payoff, because nothing to do with me. It's a council bus. I live in a council estate, but I've never had a bus. Getting Bernie's podcast, brilliant listen. He talks about his childhood and how he got into football. Go for it. As I say, these Seymour. What about the midfielders, Bernie? You would put Dan Beleza in for Hackney's. He looks class when he came on. Yeah, look, I think Hackney Housing's going to be moving out to let Beleza come in. The lad, if you're thinking who's that, it's the lad 900,000 signing from Rotherham. He's a midfielder. He looks a class act. We've only seen a glimpse of him on Saturday, but he looks the part. So I think it's going to be Housing or Hackney is going to be on the bench. Hi Bernie, hail hail. James Mills, hail hail. That means he's a Celtic fan. Big Millsy boy. He's no my old schoolmate, is he? I didn't think he was clever enough to go on things like this. Bob Bradley, Leslie, thanks for that. Bob Bradley was the last American, I think it was in England, was the Swansea manager. I mean, Bob Bradley. As soon as I heard his name, American taking over Swansea, named Bob Bradley. There was only one way it was going to go. Do you think Hartlepool United stay up League 2? That's for Keith. And that bus will probably be offside more than time. Way! Boom, boom. That's quite good for you. But a fan thought you would got your bed. Yeah, Bob Bradley. That's some name, innit? I thought it was Bob Bradley the Jaws. There's a Bradley Jaws in the North East, in case you don't know. My wife loves you, Bernie. Shout to Angie Houston. That's for Neil Houston. Hi, Angie. I hope you like the attire, Angie. You sound a classy couple, you two. I'm sure you get it. Hiya, Bernie. What do you think of Marcus Foz? Seems to be finding form recently. Ben S. Ben, I have to agree. I mean, when he came in, I think he's a similar sort of player to Watmore. Plays in a different position. But he's fast, energetic, creative in his own way. And he scores a few goals. I think he'll always get a few goals because his pace and his ambition getting forward and driving into the box. I don't think he'll ever be prolific, but I don't think he came as a goal scorer. I thought he came as a sort of a number 10 or a midfielder, but he's been on the right, and yeah, he's done well. Where are we? I've still got these to read. I need to really read. Hi, Bernie. Foz is getting better every game. Yeah, I think I've read that on there. I think, yeah. What do you think of the current commentary team and the BBC tees? Ian, I'll be honest, I'm a Neil Maddison fan. Maddo's my pal. I respect Maddo. I watched every game he played. He was a tough character, 110%. No nonsense. I don't listen to it. I'm at the games anyway, and I wouldn't listen. Have named a lot of streets off Ersam Green Lane after former players, Bernie. Madron Way, Clough Close, Camsell Court, no Slaven Street though. Well, Johnny, I'm not offended with that, but those guys all born and bred in Middlesbrough. That's fair play. I get that. They're Borough lads. I'm an adopted Teessider. They are Borough born and bred, so I'm cool with that. And they deserve it. Willie Madron's the guy beside me. Cloughie's my absolute idol when it comes to strikers at Middlesbrough, so I'm all for that. So where were we? What do you think they can... as I say, Ian, I don't know. I've never listened. I've always did the commentary. I've been at the games, so I don't know what it's like. But I know that I like Neil Maddison, Maddo as I call him, and he's a great guy. And yeah, so I can't commentate on the commentary because I don't listen. Bernie, are your lads Borough fans? Annette, Nelly, Hughes. They are. My oldest boy is the biggest one. My younger boy is 25. A boy, 28, 29, he loves the Borough. And at the minute he's in Glasgow with a bird. I'm a bird, no, not a chicken. A female, a girl. Still call them birds in Glasgow. Nobody's going to convince me I need to call him something else. Lives with a bird and he's happy, and in a Saturday, I always connect to him after a game. What about the game? Have you watched it? And he'll say, I watched it, or I didn't watch it. And what about the score? You can tell right away he's on a downer if we get beat, which is very seldom these days. At the minute, he's buzzing. Spoke to him last night, buzzing. Oh, he's a massive Borough fan. My oldest boy's a massive Borough fan. He was actually, when I say Sheffield United were playing him, he says, can I come down to the game? And I says, well, it's at Sheffield. And then he's talking about, can you get us a Wembley ticket? Well, I'll be lucky to get a Wembley ticket. I work for the club, but the chances of me getting one for myself, let alone him getting one. What's your favourite game this season so far? Watford, by far. Do you agree, Robert? Robert Borough fan McCluckey. Yeah, I think, look, there's been a lot of good games, but I thought the Watford game was a complete game from start to finish, where we closed down, harassed, created, passing was slick and accurate. Every train I thought was going that way, and I thought we were great. Bernie, me and the wife met you at the Riverside. We are from Northern Ireland. We had a photo taken with you. Well, I hope you've not binned it, Neil. So you're from Northern Ireland, but you stay over here now. Is that the gig? You didn't go back to Northern Ireland. You seen one glimpse of me and you headed back. So you were at the Riverside, eh? The Riverside experience, they call it. Who dressed you tonight? Bernie the cat or the cross-dresser? Come on, Leslie, man. I've seen your clubber. If the club offered you a role within possibly an ambassador role, would you take it? Ian, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm very surprised, shocked and disappointed I've never been offered. I can't get on the coaching staff, never ever. Not even with the young kids, I think, because I'm probably opinionated and probably out of control at times, which is fair enough. But ambassador, I think I'd be a good ambassador. I'm smart, I dress well, apart for the night, because people have been hammering my gear. No, hey, ambassador, I would do it. It'd be a pleasure and a privilege to be ambassador of the club that I signed for in '85. We gave him a big chance in football, and I was loyal and successful, and that'd be a great job. When I go down to Man United, I see Robert, as I say, I'm going this week. Robert's an ambassador, Dennis Evans an ambassador. They've got ambassadors that fly all over the world. I'm not looking for that job. I'm just looking for locality. We're on about here. But yeah, it'd be a good role, that. Can we catch Sheffield United, Benny, Luke Evans? Look, of course we can. Of course we can. They would have to really lose control totally, because there's still a gulf in points. But obviously, if we go a week on Saturday, is it, and we play them and we beat them, hey, who knows? Who knows? Their bottles might go, and we just keep going from strength to strength. And the important thing is, we sign players in the January window, 3 players. I said we needed 2 or 3 in before it opened. We got 3 in. Last minute, we get a 3rd one in. Ramsey. I thought it was Gordon Ramsay. Anyway, and then Aaron Ramsey, I'm thinking, dear God, Aaron Ramsey, he was at Rangers, he's injury prone, he's no good. Anyway, it turns out it's the lad for Villa. And he wasn't in the bench. People saying, where is he? He may have picked up an injury, I don't know, but he wasn't on the bench. Picture the scene. The Borough reach the playoff final. Carrick walks out the club. The chairman asks you to, to take charge for the final. What are you saying? I would say, I'll play up front with Akpom, Ian. Me and Akpom up front. There you are. Akpom, you drop the number 10. I'll just stand in that 6-yard box. And I'll get caught offside 99 times. And that one time I get away, I'll put it in the net. And everything will be hunky-dory. Right, I'm going to read these out. Right. Bernie. This is for Jen, Borough fan. Bernie Chuba, 17 goals in total, 60 in the league. And with 16 games to go, he must beat your 21 league goals. Yeah, you're right. Without a doubt. I've no doubt he will. And as I say, sincere good luck to the lad. He's been brilliant this season. He's better, million times better than what I thought, what I anticipated. I was having a go at him a year ago. So were all the, well, I don't need to talk about anybody else, but my former professional mates would say, bah, he's no good this, he's lacking that. By God, he's showed a lot this season. Brilliant. It's amazing what confidence does in playing regular football. Just out of interest, this is for Jenna, is just PS, just out of interest, that season back in 89, how many goals did you actually get? That season in 89, I scored 32 goals. And obviously cup games as well. So 21 league goals, 32 overall. That was my highest, and when I played football, it was my highest tally. And that wasn't a bad team. So I think that was a good season considering we were playing the last game against Newcastle when we beat them 4-1 and we stayed up. So that was the season I scored 32, which is mad. When you look at it and think, the difference, hey, Cuba's been out injured and he's come in, he's got as many goals as he's played games. Fantastic. I'm not knocking him. But Cuba's playing in a good team, which is at the top, that could still get automatic promotion. So there's a big difference. I was in a shit team. Cuba's in a good team. Yes, but you scored in the Premier League regular, the old First Division equivalent of Premier. Yeah, I did. I got 15 league goals in the top flight, Trevor. My first season in the top flight, some people were writing me off and I'm entitled to do that. I took that in the chin. I thought, yeah, fine. Yeah, wait till I sample it. Somebody, I remember national press saying, will you score goals? And I said, I'll score goals if I get the service. And I did get the service, Stuart Ripley provided. And I was fortunate to finish third top scorer in the top flight. So I scored 18 in total. So yeah, that was a big achievement, lads. 25 grand. Somebody says to me the other day, what would you be worth now? 30. I think I'd be worth 30 grand now. Anyway, Phil, Newcastle City, so it's North East show, so a few Geordies finally get involved. Newcastle brought down to earth on Saturday with a draw against struggling West Ham and St James's. A tad disappointing. Are you sure you're a Newcastle fan? Newcastle brought down to earth on Saturday with a draw against struggling West Ham and St James's. I mentioned that earlier, but you can't be a Newcastle fan. Liam Sunderland says, as a Sunderland fan, I'm afraid we are not going to make the top 6 with no recognised prolific striker. Well, I did mention that earlier, Liam. I mean, you've not got Stuart. Sims went back to Everton. I think you've got a couple of young strikers in, but they're novices, apprentices. You need tradesmen. For the 18 remaining games, you really need somebody that's going to bang in goals, and I don't think you're going to get there. I mean, I think Tony Mowbray said he's a wee bit frustrated at the transfer movement in January, but he's confident. Good luck to him, Mugger. Good luck to Sutherland. Who was the star man Saturday, Bernie, for you? This is for Nobby Nuts, a Borough fan. Nobby's Nuts. Never tried them. I like nuts. Do you like nuts? Do you like your nuts? McGree and Akpom were my star men on Saturday. I thought Akpom would probably just nick it because he's 2 goals. But I thought McGree was terrific as well. When I first see McGree, liked him right away. Left-footed player. Left footers are rare. Right footers are 10 a penny. Left footers are like hen's teeth. And this guy's got, his movement's good. He's always thinking. He's always scanning before the ball arrives to see where he's going to play it. He likes to try and get a shot off. He scored as many goals as Tavernier and he's still got 16 games left. So, yeah, I think he's going to be long-term at Middlesbrough. Where are we? No, Tommy says the big 3 in the North East are doing us proud. Well, it depends who you call the big 3. Darlington, Middlesbrough and Sunderland all doing well. Yeah, they are. No, seriously. You didn't just score in the Premier League, you scored in the Madison and that nightclub in Yarmouth, the Tall Trees. Oh, tell you what, Leslie, that's awful, man. Come on, I should be banning you. If I was PC correct, I'd be saying no more. Have it fair. The big three North East clubs doing well. Yeah, they are. Look, Newcastle, if they finish fourth and and dare I say it, won the trophy, beat Manchester United at Wembley, then what a season. How must be the manager of the year. Hartlepool, great result. This is for Jake. Hartlepool, great result against Doncaster away from home. Well, it is considering that you're struggling. You needed it. You know, I mean, you still remain joint third bottom with, is it Crawley? So it's desperate you do it. Jimmy Butterfan says, Saturday, I'm glad we get through with flying colours. It was a potential banana skin against Blackpool. Without a doubt. I heard those exact words coming out of a few people's mouth in the lounges, saying, tell you what, banana skin, typical Borough this, when everything's going hunky-dory. Anyway, we get through it. Deadly Dick, I like that name. Surprised that it's starting 11 for Borough, expecting new signings, all to start. Well, that just started, but Lazy come off the bench and Ramsey, well, I don't know where he was, but he wasn't on the bench. I didn't expect him to start. Why would you change the best performance of the season against Watford? Why would you, because you've spent the cash, or flashed the cash, or brought players in, why would you play them right away? They have to earn the right to get, and that's how you earn respect from the players. And I love the way Carrick's doing it. For the outside looking in, I'd do everything the exact same as him. 4 at the back, same team, playing well, in the main. Don't disrupt it and chop and change 4 and 5 positions and all that rubbish. Square pegs, round holes. Simplistic things are what a treat, because fans are simple people. And they get it. And the players know that playing on Saturday, their odds on to play next Saturday. And I'm sure they will, bar an injury. Us Newcastle fans are still celebrating getting into that Mickey Mouse Cup final. Loving it. That's for Mary, Newcastle fan. You've been sarcastic, haven't you? Us Newcastle fans are still celebrating getting into that Mickey Mouse Trophy final. I'm loving it. Well, Mary, enjoy the day. Might be another 47 years before you're there again in the League Cup. So I suggest you go and enjoy it, Mary, with all your Geordie pals. Nelly says, Akpom's coming for your 21 league goals. We've covered that. Yeah. Hey, 16 league goals, 16 games to go. Jock says, whatever happened to Leo? Leo Pekovic. Well, I can't remember the title that he's got, but I don't know, to be honest. I've never seen him even at a game. Never passed him. Don't know. And Francis says, was it the Legends? I was in the Legends Lounge on Saturday. Great atmosphere, great entertainment. Mickey Horswell FA Cup one was very funny. Some good stories, yeah. There's a few more. I'll just read Eddie. Hi, Bernie. Jeff the Copper. Oh, we don't allow coppers on here, Jeff. Coppers and referees are banned. We all make Jeff Winter, don't allow him on. He's a referee, don't allow them. Referees and coppers we don't want on. Or PC Brigade, we don't want on. Hi, Bernie. Jeff the Copper. What a relief living up here in Northumberland with the way we are performing. Everyone is talking about us, mate. Jeff, I hope you're keeping well, mate. They will be with the talk of the North East at the minute, along with Newcastle. Nick Henderson says, in the past you have said, why do we have so many coaching staff? We appear to be the same again, with Woodgate, Ledbetter and the guy from Villa. Why do this club like it that way? Seems like the job for the boys, but at least it's not currently too many cooks. Yeah, too many cooks spoil the broth. Good Scotty saying that. Well, dear God, I think when Big Sam Allardyce joined Newcastle United, I think he had about 10 of them. 12 of them, you've only mentioned 3. So it's not exactly an entourage. But the thing is, you're noticing that, or thinking that, but the team's winning. The fans don't give a damn. It's like if the lads were out drinking every night, which I don't suggest for a moment they are, too professional these days. In my day, there was guys going out heavily drinking. If you're out drinking and you're winning, you get away with it. If you go out drinking and you're not winning, everybody's on your case. That's the reason we're getting beat. It might be, but it might not be. So you get away with anything when everything's going hunky-dory. Leo Perkovic's role at the club is head player, pathway and development. I knew it was something like that, Keith. Never heard of that, but there you have it. Man United will win the Cup, so Newcastle will have another wait for a trophy. Maybe fair play. Hey, trophy's a trophy, innit? Right, I'm going to... Where are we here? Right, okay. This is... Yeah, after this we're going because we've got 6-7 minutes. Tom, the Borough fan, says, Sheffield United feeling the pressure, Bernie. They could only draw at Rotherham. I mentioned that earlier. It was 0-0. Rotherham are 5th bottom with the championship. And Sheffield would have went there like Borough travelling in away with the fancied their chances. They're flying high, they're second. It's all there to be had. Nobody's going to catch Burnley, are they? Burnley's away, aren't they? But you never know. Terry, the Geordie, says, my beloved Newcastle United have only been handed 32,761 Wembley tickets. Absolutely disgraceful. What do you mean? What do you mean? Wembley's capacity is 90. So they give you 32,761 and they give tickets to Manchester United fans 32,761. Only holds 90,000. So the two lots of fans get tickets, then the rest goes to the sponsors, the rich and the suits. That's the way it operates. Hey, I think the fans should get more, but we know the cooperative and the hoity-toity brigade and guys that's never been to a game get the luxuries and the wine and dine, the finest champagne and the best tickets and the best seats in the house because they're in that circle of people. We know that happens. But drive me crackers that. You as a fan, you watch your beloved team every game, every season, then when it comes to the big ones, the real, like a final, and all these guys jump ahead of you and you maybe be left out, you don't get a ticket. Sheffield play in the FA Cup tomorrow versus Grimsby. Oh, we don't give a damn about that. Obviously, this Geordie can't count. Dan Gordon. Yeah. Sunderland fan, no name. I'm furious that our club plays a remaining 18 games with no experienced recognised strikers. Can't blame Mugger. Well, you can't. You must blame, if there's no players in it, it'll not be because of Tony Mowbray. You blame the director of football, the chief executive, the chairman. They're the guys. If they don't come in the January window. Pool fan. Oh, Hatley Pool fan. Vital 3 points against Doncaster for the Pulleys. Yeah, it was. I mean, they're joint third in bottom with Crawley, so it was important. You should give a damn. We'll tire them down for the weekend. Leslie, we play them a week on Saturday. Oh, you're saying they play them next Saturday? Okay. Well, it might do, but they might play a scrap team rather, not a crap team, a scrap team. Right, I'm going to just mention the Packy thing once more. So Gary Parkinson, I'll finish with this. Gary Parkinson is a lad I used to play with between 86 and 92-93 season at Middlesbrough. Played in every division with Parky. He was loyal, successful, a credit to the football club. He was a great ambassador for Middlesbrough Football Club. And he moved around. He played under David Moyes at Bolton. He played at Blackpool. It wasn't Davy. It was Bruce Rioch at Bolton. He played with Davy Moyes at Preston, who's now the West Ham manager. So Parky, he went around and then he became a coach at Blackpool. And during that time, he had a bad do and ended up with what they call locked-in syndrome. And I mentioned earlier, he's paralysed. He can only communicate via his eyes. And he needs 24-hour care. And I can honestly say, his family, he's got 3 kids, a lovely wife, his childhood sweethearts, Deborah and Parky, Gary. They have never once asked me or any of the 86 lads, can you do it and can you do this, can you do that? Never, not once. This is the 4th one we've had in the last 10 years, obviously the pandemic. I felt a bit guilty because during the pandemic, everybody was told not to go out, and I'm not saying we went every 6 months to see Parky, but me, Matt Proctor and Big Pally used to go and see Parky Now and again, sporadically over the year or whatever. And then all of a sudden, 3 years not seen him. In the last few months, saying to my missus, you know, Parky's sitting there, he must be thinking, do we think about him? Have we forgot about him? Well, without a shadow of a doubt, never forget Parky. Always been in my mind, still pray for him. So I just thought, come on, let's get back, getting round all the 86 lads, which I did. Started off with big Tony Mowbray. Tony agreed because it was international weekend. He's not got a game for Sunderland. He agreed, so then that was my starting point. Then Hammy was over a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying, Hammy, I know you live in Texas, Houston, wherever it is in America, but we're having this do. I've worked it around Mugger because he was captain of the 86 team. Anyway, Hammy said, I'll try my damnness. And last week, Hammy got in touch and says, look, I will be there. And then the rest are all coming. Bruce Rear's coming. Stephen Pears, Gary Gill, Colin Cooper, Parky himself's coming with his family, so that'll be emotional. Ripper, Brian Laws, Archie Stevens, the great Archie Stevens, Lee Turnbull, Paul Proudlock. Yeah, so we're all going to be there, and I invited Chairman Steve Gibson. Steve Gibson's coming, which is great because he played a big part in that era. So it holds 840. All the tables have gone. Some people paid £500 or £1,000 for sponsorship. Every penny goes directly to Parky. There's nobody anywhere getting any money. Everything goes to Parky. And we've got some great prizes. We've got, no prizes, auctions. We've got a 10-bedroom villa. No 10-bedroom, sleeps 10. Bernard, lots of people forgetting Stephen Pears scored the last ever goal at Essen Park. Oh, well, apparently he did, Keith. Yeah, so yeah, the £50 for a ticket, meet and greet, so you meet the lads behind the scenes, and it's £30 a ticket. You order them at the town hall. All the tables have gone. As I say, some people paid 500 to 1,000, with every penny going to Parky. And my gut says we're looking to raise over 50, 60 grand. If we do that, it'd be remarkable. Don't forget, Care alone, my mate who's a big charitable guy, Tony, he says, mate, it costs something like 80, 90 grand a year for Care. Incredible. So we've got a villa in Spain that sleeps 10. We've got a lovely cottage in Whitby up for a week. I love Whitby, personally. That's up for grabs. I might as well say it. And, Mackenzie Thorpe, I've been in touch with his son, and we're getting a picture of him. And this is the real deal. This would probably be arguably the biggest amount of money in one thing. So he's going to give us that. And then there's other things. There's a gym membership, and there's going to be shirts that's signed with the team now, or shirts for the past. I think Gary Hamilton's bringing over Gaza shirt. Don't know how I ended up with Gaza shirt. I never played with Gaza, but anyway. No, and Hammy's probably stole it. Hammy will be watching this. Trevor Chavez says, legend Bernard, remember the blockbuster he scored at Everton in the Cup. Yeah, so Trevor's just reminding us of Gary Pattinson. So if you're too young to remember Parky played right back. Parky had good engines, box to box, going up and down the flanks, but he had a great shot, and he scored, I think it was 2 over a period against Everton, against arguably the best keeper at the time, Neville Southall. That was before Schmeichel came in. And Parky beat him twice for 25, 30 yards. I remember the one at Goodison, it was in the Cup. The ball's come in for the right, and he's about 25 yards out, and he's let it run, and he's just hit it. And it flew top corner. It was a stunner. It was a beauty. It's one I always remind them. Do you remember the story, my last story before I go? Do you remember we played my story with Parky, and I only told him this several years ago. We played Ipswich Town in the Premier League, today's Premier League. Me and Parky played in the very first Premier League, 92. The inaugural Premier League. X amount of games in. It's a Wednesday night at Essen Park. 2-2. Minute to go. Penalty for Middlesbrough, right in front of the Hall gate. So Parky's a regular penalty taker, but he's been out injured for a few weeks. And I've not scored for a few games. Anyway, Parky lifts the ball, which he's got every right to do. He's a penalty taker. And me being pig-headed and the goal scorer, and greedy says, I'm taking it. I'm the goal scorer. And he says, no, I'm taking it. I'm the penalty kick taker. I mean, you see this all the time. It happens all the time. And it shouldn't happen, but it does. It still happens now. Anyway, I've won the argument. And I put it down. There's about 30 seconds left. And I goes up 2-2, seconds to go. 3-2 to Middlesbrough, Premier League game. And I remember hitting it, and I was looking for the top right-hand corner. I think I hit somebody with a mince pie in a bovril over here on the right. Anyway, whistle went. The Hallgate, I think a lot of them did like me. Maybe even adore me. But this night, they swore at me. And they gave me abuse. Yeah, Scottish wanker. Get back to Glasgow, yeah, fuck. And I got total abuse. I deserved it. Anyway, I remember going in and Party was moaning, groaning, and said, yeah. I says, look, I told you should have took it. I told him years later that I was joking. Party should have took it. So I missed it. Hold my hands up. And that's what you have to do in life. When you're wrong, you hold your hands up. Anyway, listen, thanks very much for joining us. Let me think. Saturday. Because I'm doing this every Monday now. This thing will be every Monday. Hopefully we can rope a few other North East fans in so we get a bit of banter going. And a bit of the crack, a bit of things you would never hear on radio. Say things and put messages in you wouldn't say, and I'll read them out. Because I don't give a flying, I'm with you. That's what life's about, isn't it? Being yourself. Stop being what other people want you to be. Be yourself. Be real. So next Saturday, after the Cardiff game, I'll be on here at 6. So when it's a away game for Borough, I do the Facebook Live at 6. And when it's at home games, I do 6:30. It gives me time to get back. So 6 o'clock Saturday. Thanks for joining us. If you've not listened to Total BS podcast, it's on every Monday. It's free. It's in Amazon. It's in Apple, it's in Spreaker, it's in Spotify. And tonight, I always get interviews where you can listen to Brian Clough of old, or you can rewind. You just see them, they're all lined up. Pretty simple. Total BS, Bernie Slaven, you'll get them up. And you can listen to your heart's content. There's some great interviews, some big names there. Jack Charlton, Paddy Crant, who we mentioned, Janino, Ravanelli. Tonight, unfortunately, the caliber's dropped because there's a non-footballing guy who I know who says to me for a year, I'd love to interview you, non-footballing questions, and he's done it. So if you want to listen to me, it's not scripted. He asks questions that I've not got a clue what he's asked me about. And I give him honest answers. Like the kids at the front at the end of the game, can I have your jumper, Bernie? Nick Henderson, it's on its way. Thanks for the stream, Bernie. Cheers, Stephen. Leslie Coates, it was me and the pork pie. Thanks very much. Up the Borough, up the Mackhams, up the Geordies. Good luck to Sunderland, Hartlepool. See you later. See you later. Good night.